Green concrete is the apple of Donal O'Riordan's eye. His environmentally friendly cement produces a fraction of the emissions of most other cements. Last year, Ecocem saved 630,000 tonnes of CO2.
On the other side of the Liffey is the convention centre. It's not only important in architectural terms, it's important because it's the first building in the world to use carbon neutral concrete. Concrete, the importance of that can't be overestimated. The single most used product in the world, manufactured product, is concrete. It's also the product that produces the most pollution in the world. It's the biggest source of CO2 emissions. This building over here is using concrete, which produces no net CO2. They've managed, by the use of our technology, Ecocem's technology, to substantially reduce their carbon footprint. And then they've gone beyond that by using offsets, which we're also able to provide, to compensate and offset the remaining carbon footprint. Since we set up here 5 years ago, we've reduced CO2 emissions in Ireland by just over 1 million tonnes. If you look at the hybrid technology that Toyota Motor Company introduced 10 years ago, revolutionised the way we think about cars. In those 10 years, that technology has reduced CO2 emissions by 1.25 million tonnes, a remarkable achievement. Ecocem, at its plants in Ireland and the Netherlands, has actually produced a saving in CO2 50% greater, and we've done it in half the time. In the next 5 years, we'll save the Irish taxpayer 30 million euros in buying for extra Kyoto credits they would need if we weren't manufacturing in this country. Where climate change is not something that's happening in the distant future, it's happening now. It's affecting people's lives now everywhere in the world. We have to adopt technologies and use them correctly that enable us to put less strain and stress on the planet. This is something that's essential for all our well-being. It's a great satisfaction to be able to work in that sort of area. We can now travel the world with that product and find customers everywhere we go. Every generation has their own challenges. The challenge for our generation now, and probably for the next 2 generations, is the challenge of climate change. If we don't get a solution for that, there won't be any further generations. So we have a unique challenge, and we also have unique opportunities. We have the wherewithal technologically and financially to solve that problem. It's still, nevertheless, an awful lot has to be done. So that's the challenge for our generation.
While Ecocem lay the foundations, Donal can indulge his competitive streak on the tennis court.
I've been playing for about 35 of the last 40 years, and so I must like it. I obviously do like it. But it's a sport you can play until you're 90, if you stay a little bit fit. Well, I'm not particularly competitive in that I don't have to win to make the effort worthwhile. What's more important is do as well as you can. Be competitive. In the game of tennis, if you're playing against people of your standard, you lose just as often as you win. So if you can't stand losing, you shouldn't play. So if you need to win, sport is a very bad thing. Same in business, you don't have to win, you just have to do as well as you can. You can learn from your mistakes, and that's the important thing in business. People, when they look back at their history in business, will often unconsciously edit the story to say it was success, success, success. But it's not, it's ups and downs, and you have to deal with everything. Sport is strictly for fun, and if you do business right, it's for fun as well. That's the similarities.